Right. All right. We are recording. Hello, everybody. Today, Chad has agreed to hang out with us. He is a Gator, but he's actually going to talk a little bit about CRMs today. So thank you for hanging out, Chad. I appreciate it. Taking some time out of your busy day.
Absolutely. I'm happy to be here. I love to talk tech and CRM, so I'm really happy to help.
Nice. Awesome. Well, let's start with the basics. What is a CRM? What does
So
that stand for?
CRM, that stands for Customer Relationship Manager, or I've also heard Client Relationship Manager.
Okay.
I think there's a few other variations, but it's essentially the people you want to do deals with, how you're going to manage that relationship in one systematized way.
Okay, cool. So then this is kind of a good fit for everybody, right? Like this would be realistically
Yes.
good for whatever your role, whatever your avatar. I mean, probably almost anybody in business or anything, anyways, that's just interacting with people or wants to keep it organized.
Yeah, so if you think about the old school like Rolodex that people used to have on their desk, it's like that, but the new age version. So you're able to have like the contacts that you're wanting to stay in touch with. Like it can be like someone you want to do a deal with, or a mentor, or like someone that you're hoping to make contact with, and you're able to keep them in one system and then keep track of all of the information about them, but also like the last time you spoke to them, any notes about them, anything that you want to keep track of, like on the contact. Like before, you would have it on like a card, you just make notes, but now it's in a system, and you're able to just keep track of everything in there. So this doesn't matter if you're a TC, if you're a Gator, if you're a private money lender, if like anyone in real estate, if you have people that you're wanting to contact, you really
Yeah.
should be keeping them in a CRM.
Okay. So let's say like I'm just starting off right now. I'm like,
Mhm.
cool, I need this CRM. So where do I start? Do I need to spend a bunch of money? Do I need to set something up? Do I have to be super techie? Like how do I get this rolling?
So I don't think you need to spend a lot of money. I think there are a lot of people who want to jump into like the $300 a month or more platform, and I think right away you don't need that. There are a few options out there that range from free all the way up to, like I said, like multiple hundreds. But if you're starting out and you're not doing more than like 5 to 10 deals a month, I would just stick with a Google Sheet version. And essentially, you're just going to have a list of all the people that you want to contact or you have contacted, then information about them, almost like an Excel spreadsheet. So like first name, last name, their phone number, their email address. If there's like a birthday or like a note about them that you want to keep a track of, you just have it in like a spreadsheet, and you just maintain that list of, oh, like I haven't spoke to John in a few weeks. Let's reach out to John. Okay, well now I need to I need to speak to Jane because I was going to follow up with her this week, and I haven't done it yet. So just like very basic to start off with is more than enough for the contact piece for sure.
That's awesome. No, that's great information because I mean, I think we always say like you got to make those contacts, but you got to follow up.
Hmm.
You know, right? Like people are amazing, but if you don't know how to reach them or don't know how to
Yep.
find you again or to remember, it's like how are you going to build those relationships? Or sometimes you just want that in your back pocket of like, hey, we don't have anything we're working on right now, but let's keep chatting and checking in. You want to
Absolutely.
either be able to help them or maybe they are able to help you at some point, but you definitely like that's so key to keep that stuff organized because there's nothing worse. And I'm like, I've done it before, but like there's nothing worse than like you meet some cool people, you're at a meetup or you're online or whatever, a Zoom, and it's just like, this was great. Let's talk soon. And then either you didn't get their info or you get it and you
I lost
lose
track
it
of it.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's either in
There's a
your phone or somewhere, but it ends up scattered and you're like, oh shoot. Or you see
that's
it later on and you're going, I don't remember who this person was, and it's like, shoot.
Yeah, that's absolutely one of the biggest things is like you said, the follow up. I've been researching in like marketing and stuff, and like one of the biggest things is that people don't follow up. They reach out like one time, either if it's a cold call or a text message or an email, they do it once, and then they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I didn't hear back. That's it." But in reality, people are busy. It's not that they're worried about you or they don't like you or anything about you. It could just be that they were just like they were busy. They were sick that day or something. And so
Right.
you're doing them a favor by following up. You're doing yourself a favor by following up. So how do you keep track of all of that? In a CRM, a very basic one, you can say the last time I reached out to them was on like November 30th. Okay, it's December 14th now. Maybe I should follow up again. And you're able to keep track of the last conversations that you had. If there was any special notes, you add a little note in there. If you were if you said, hey, let's follow up after the new year, then you make a note in there and you look through your notes ideally daily, and you're like who do I need to follow up with now, or who do I need to follow up with in the next few weeks, because follow up is what everyone's missing. So
Yeah.
it's really important, and you can keep like a notebook, but that's not like as easy to keep track of, because the CRMs these days, and like even the Google Sheets, you can do it on your phone. So like
Yeah.
if you think about it, just anywhere you log in and say, who do I need to talk to this week? Who am I reaching out to? And you're able to do it on your phone. So if it's your calendar, it's your Rolodex, it's your planner all in one, and
Efficiency.
it's efficiency. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
that's awesome. I feel like it's like that. What's the quote I keep hearing? What's measured gets managed. And I'm like,
Yes.
I feel like this fits that of like, it kind of goes back. It's the follow up, but it's also like, if you're tracking it, you can also get to see like how many people you've connected with, or look at some other
Yep.
kind of interesting facts, I'm sure too. What
Yeah.
closed, what didn't, things like that, depending on your role.
Yeah.
But I was gonna,
One of the big ones is the source of them, exactly like you were saying. Like, oh, did you meet at a meetup? Like, did they randomly
yeah,
text message you because they got your information from someone else? Did they find you on Facebook, on Instagram? And you can see these trends if you're monitoring the information long enough. You can say, oh, I'm getting all this information, I'm all of these contacts from Facebook. Maybe I need to spend more time socializing on Facebook, because that's where I'm finding all my leads already. So you're able to see that data, and yeah, absolutely.
that's pretty cool. So if somebody, so I know we kind of talked about like, if you're just that startup cost, or you're starting out as far as keeping it simple and keeping it cost effective, that you could do something as simple as an Excel sheet. If
Hmm.
you wanted to just level that up one step, maybe you're not comfortable with setting that up. Maybe you're like, I kind of want to try something. What would be, is there like a program or a site or an app that you would recommend kind of for people just getting into it? Or maybe kind of what is a couple levels of like maybe a beginner, intermediate, and like advanced,
Sure.
depending on where you're at with your business and skill level, that you would recommend?
Sure. So before we move onto that, there is one other piece of a CRM that's really important, and it's the opportunities. Essentially, it's the way that you're making money. So I'm in the real estate world, and we would I refer to that as deals. Not all opportunities to make money are deals, because they're not in your buy box, but
Yeah.
with the CRM world, they're referred to as opportunities. So
Mhm.
I'm in there. You have the contacts like we were discussing, but you also have your opportunities, and that's where you have your the details of your deals and who you're working with, and like if it's a property, like what the address is, what the price is, and all of the information that you need to monitor about your deals, like the property, or the if it's a contract for like Gator, like whatever it is. I'm able to monitor the contacts, but then also where you're working with them in the different deals. And then I'm in there, you're able to say like, oh, this one's on stage one. And stage one is like, someone sent it to me, but I haven't evaluated it yet, but I need to evaluate it. So you're able to like see how many you have in that discovery phase. The next one is, hey, this is a really good deal, and I've like made an offer, or I've accepted the offer. So then you're
Yeah.
able to have all of these deals, and in their different phases from start to close, and like monitor like how much money that you're making, or how much money you have in the pipeline, as it's referred to. Like, oh, over the next like few weeks, I'm going to be closing on these deals, and it's worth X amount of money, and you're able to like keep track of all of that in one system, and you have the contacts and your opportunities from start to finish. So those two together are really powerful, because that's your business. That's how you make money. Like you have the leads, you have the contacts, and then they have you, uh, where they help you find deals, and you vet the deals, and you go through start to finish with the deal, and you close the deal, and you have your money. So the
Yeah.
CRM at its core is your opportunities to make money, how that goes start to finish, and all the contacts in that world, like your TC, the title people, the leads, your like your mentors, everyone around your business, and the way you make money. Those are the two core pieces of a CRM.
Well, and I think we see that in the TC at least realm a little bit too. Of our version of that is also, it's like the temperature of the deal, right, and where you're at in the process of one priority level of, okay, we're closing this week, I need to do that first, or we've got a month for this deal, so it's that kind of priority. And then also where are we at in the process of, like you said, okay, did we just open escrow? Okay, cool, we need to send out this email, or we need to go check in with this person. And it's really nice to be able to see that, because I feel like all of us are super busy, like you said, and I think everybody wants to be efficient with their time. Nobody wants to waste their time on stuff or forget anything. So I think that's super critical. You want to see how you're doing and do better, obviously, but helping that day-to-day flow of going, instead of me sitting here and getting confused or getting lost of where I'm at, or forgetting to call somebody, or, losing money over this, that I can just check in on my system every day, or I meet somebody and it becomes habit. You meet somebody, you input it. You're on a next step, you check it off the box, and I think that's amazing. I mean, that's a huge help in all this stuff. Like,
so that's massive. The basics there. So if we wanted to, if we wanted to go to the next level, like you said, I would really recommend people fix the pain. So if you've got the basics down and you're in an Excel spreadsheet or a Google sheet, and you're in there all the time, you have the habit down, everything's going, and you're realizing, hey, I'm having to send out a lot of emails to the same people over and over again. Maybe you look for a MailChimp to send out your automated emails. Or if I'm realizing, hey, I'm having to book a lot of meetings and it's painful because I'm having to juggle all of this, then you set up the Calendly. You probably want to do the Calendly early, but that's an example of with the CRMs, there's a lot of them out there that are all the bells and whistles, but I wouldn't recommend spending the money until it's painful and you're like, hey, I could really use this help now. Let's solve the automation piece with your email or your text messaging, or your or your social media posts, or your meetings. So fix the pain until you have too many individual pieces. I have the CRM down, I have the MailChimp, I have the Calendly, I have the I don't know what a social media poster is, but a tweet deck or something like that. And I'm paying for all of these because I need their features. If you get to a bunch of those, then maybe you want to combine all of them into one system, and that's where you get a CRM similar to like a Go High Level, or if you really want to get fancy, like a Salesforce. Most people probably don't need that, or there's even a Monday, but I really wouldn't pay a ton of money until you've got too many individual tools that you're paying money for, and you're I'd like them in one system working together, so I don't have I have to log into this system, I have to log into that one, I have to connect this one to this one. With a CRM, they're just all connected.
Well, and I don't know about some of those others, but I've just kind of started learning about some of this stuff, and I've been utilizing Calendly, and I don't know about MailChimp or any of those. MailChimp was going to be my next looking into it, but I know with Calendly, there's even some of these that you can kind of test out on a free feature as well.
Absolutely.
Which is great, because the same thing, like right now I'm doing my stuff through Calendly, and honestly, it's amazing. It's so hard. I mean, that's how we met. You send your link to somebody, they can look through, and I feel like it's a great way to allow people the space to schedule things, but also you can set your hours. It syncs up to my calendar. It saves so much time, and just that stress of going, shoot, did I overbook? Did I not? Or we're doing the back and forth. Are you free on Monday? No. Okay. How about Tuesday? Oh, you're free Tuesday. Okay. How's 12 o'clock? Oh, well, what time zone are you at? And I'm it sets it up to their time zone. That sounds so silly, but I'm I feel like I would check out some of these, or I don't know what you would say too, but I'm some of these, there's a starting point that's free that can be really helpful in kind of getting things going. That, to your point, it's maybe exhaust that first. And then see if you like it, or if you need to level up. Because I looked at maybe paying, and honestly, the free version, at least for now, it's done very well. It's been very helpful. But I'm sure there's a bunch of others, and it's just a mix. But I think that's important too.
Especially with software these days, you're usually going to get a free allotment. Like usually they're not going to give you like, oh, it's full access for 30 days and then we don't give you anything. Usually it's like, oh, we'll give you like 20 of this a month, or like 100 contacts or something. And
Yeah.
so until, like you said, until you exhaust that, like I would just keep doing that. But then if you're like, hey, I'm beyond the free plan now, and I really want this to work together, integrated. Like I want to be able to like time my emails that go out related to my meetings. I want to be able to like schedule my social media posts and send out and send out emails to my email list all at the same time. Until you're in that type of situation, you don't need to pay the $300 or more a month like for
Yeah.
a CRM. Like you don't need it because there's like so many like free options out there. Just once you get to the point where it's more of a headache to manage those tools, then maybe you look at a CRM that has all of them integrated, because then they work nicely together and you don't have to manage the
Yeah.
logins and the quotas and all that. It just works.
Absolutely. No, I think that's excellent. Like I said, I think a lot of us are starting out and it's overwhelming. You know, you're like, you want to do the right things, you want to be efficient, but sometimes I'm like, I've said to myself, you know, you're trying to be efficient, you actually end up more stressed and you're
Yep.
really not doing the right thing, you know, because if you don't understand it or you don't need it yet, you're spending all this time and focus on trying to, you know, be like the bigger companies or, you know, people that are doing more volume. And in reality, you know, you could just type it in an Excel spreadsheet or go download this app real quick and you'd be like, oh, that's all I needed. You know, it's like, it's a good thing to, I think, kind of reflect on here and there of like, what's a need right now and what's more of a want. Do I just want to use it, or do I need this for my business? Like I need this to keep track of all the people I'm talking to, or I need that, like you said, it's social media or things like that. That's pretty good. Do you have anything? Yeah. This is kind of on the spot. I'm like, this is not what we were talking about, but you mentioned social media. Is there anything that you're aware of that you like for social media starting out that's not too crazy?
For like posting social media, there's a few, but I haven't really used them myself. I need to get better at the social media. That's actually one of my goals for the next year is to do more like more meetings, more podcasts, more interactions, and then start posting them. So
well, hey, this is the start, everybody. You're going to see it here first. 1 check. We go from here. 0 to 1 mentality. No, that's good. I put you on the spot.
So I really want to share this. I'm working with someone. I'm not sure if they'd want me to like share their name, but they've been managing 20 to 25 deals a month, and they are just now getting a CRM. They are making a few $1,000s a month. Their deals, like I said, like 20 to 25, and they've been doing it on a whiteboard, on like pieces of paper in their like notebook. So if you think that your like 1 to 5 deals needs a CRM, it really doesn't. Like it should really only be at the point where like they were worried about missing the deadlines or like losing money, or it was like getting out of hand. That's when you really should be looking at these like all inclusive systems. Until then, just do it manually, get in the habit of just doing it every day. And once you're like exhausting that and you're like, I do this all the time, it's no big deal, then you add in your little features to solve your problems. And then eventually maybe you go for the really big one. But most of us in the community are not going to need that for a while.
That's awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate you taking the time to share this stuff with us.
Absolutely.
I think this is extremely valuable. Whether you've been doing this for a minute and just are kind of reevaluating your systems, or if you're just starting out going, what do I need? Where do I start? You know, where do I begin? Everybody has to learn at some point. Yep. So I think this is an excellent conversation. We don't want to forget, Chad is not just a tech guy and here to talk about CRM. He is in the Gator community as well.
Yes, I am.
So please, if anybody wants to team up or reach out, please keep that in mind.
Thank you for that plug. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I appreciate it. We've got multiple talents.
Yes, we do. But if you do have some needs for your CRM or your systems, your automation, my phone number is there. I just feel free to text message me. I'm always willing to help. So yeah, just let me know.
Awesome. Well, perfect. Thank you so much, Chad. Hopefully this is only part 1 and we'll have you back later on down the road. We'll help.
Absolutely.
We'll help you reach your goal with social media.
Yes, sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you.